I'm Nate Hogan. Welcome to day 5 of the March Marathon. This is the 5th video of the month. I'm posting a video every single day this month, and today we're going over the terror barrier. This is one of the most important videos I'm going to make because this is where most people fail. This is where most people turn back to their old ways. They go back to their comfort zone, and then they get mad that they haven't changed. They get mad that their life is in the same exact spot 5 years from now. So, understanding this idea, realizing what it is, what's going on, what's causing it, and then being able to overcome that is what is going to bring you freedom. So let's get right into this. I'm going to try to stay more on track today, try to talk a little slower, try to, emphasize the point and not go on too many tangents because I know these videos have been getting kind of long. So first things first, what is the terror barrier? The terror barrier occurs when you are taking action on new ideas that your mind and body are not familiar with. So anytime, a best example I can give for this is, you have a big presentation you have to do. You don't like getting up in front of crowds. You don't like doing presentations, and you're getting really nervous, right? It's the next day, and you're like, well, what if I just call in sick? What if I just, what if this happens and I don't have to go? Or what if, you start thinking of all these reasons where you can get out of it. That is a terror barrier, right? Because you are freaked out. You're like, how am I going to do this? What if I mess up? This is going to be so embarrassing. And then you start finding ways to get out of it, right? You have the escape hatch. The escape hatch is always there in all times of your journey. The escape hatch is always there, but you have to pretend like it's not, or you will take it because things will get hard. You're gonna face a terror barrier. You're gonna want to turn back. You're gonna want to go back to the comfort zone. Sit back with the chips and watch some TV. But you can't do that. You can't go back to your comfort zone because you will not grow. If you're not going forward, you're going backward. So, pick your poison. Either you're growing, you're going through fear and anxiety, or you're moving backwards, moving away from your goals, moving in the opposite direction, moving toward the life you don't want. So when you're facing the terror barrier, you will feel anxious and nervous and probably every other feeling. You'll be stressed. You're going to be going through these things that make you uncomfortable. You're going to be talking to people, having conversations that you don't want to have. You're going to be going through these things, and it's a test for how bad do you really want it. And so the number one piece of advice I can give you when going through this terror barrier is the goal that you are trying to achieve has to be a goal that you want. You can't be going after this because of what other people will think of you, right? So say you want a new car, like, oh, I'm going to get a Lamborghini this year. And you want that because other people will think differently of you if you have that car. That is not going to get you through these terror barriers. That is not going to get you over these obstacles. That is not going to get you where you want to go. Your goal has to be an emotional goal. It has to be a goal that you want for you because you decided, right? You had it in your consciousness. It came to your mind. And let me tell you something. If it comes to your conscious mind, if it comes to your mind, you can do it. You have the power to do it already here. The power for you to achieve the goals that you want to achieve is already here. You don't have to go chase it. You just have to find it. You have to become aware of it. You have to tap into it. So you will feel anxious and nervous. It is going to happen. Get used to it. Your consciousness is going to try to talk you out of it, right? Just like when you have the big presentation or the big job interview, and you're like, well, what if I call in sick and I don't have to go? And, what if I do this and this? And you find every single way to reason with it and get back to your old ways. You have to break through this, right? Because your consciousness is so strong. Your conditioning is so strong. Your conditioning has been built for however many years you've been alive, right? It's been built. And so you are battling your conditioning that has been built for me, like almost 20 years, right? So it's not easy. I'm not saying it's an easy thing to overcome, but if you don't overcome it, you will never grow. You'll never step into new situations. You'll never get uncomfortable. You will never meet new people. You're going to be the same person. And like I said, if you're not going forward, you're going backward. So you won't be the same person. You'll be worse. You'll be going the opposite direction. So this is where 99% of people fail and return to their old ways. This is where you're getting tested on how bad do you really want it. And it sounds cringy, but it's true. Because what you have to want it really bad for you. You have to want it. You have to want it, not because of what other people are going to think of you, not because of what the cool cars you can get. You have to want it. It has to be your desire from your heart that came to you when you sat down and you were like, what do I want from life, right? Because then you won't care what anybody says. You won't care what people think. You won't care what you have to go through. You're going to go through every single thing you have to go through to get to that goal, whatever it is. So that goal has to be big enough and worth failing for, right? So you have to come up with a goal. You have to decide and be like, you know what? I'm committing to this. I'm doing this. I don't care if every single bridge I have in my life burns. I'm trying this, and if I fail, I'm glad I tried. That's the point you have to get to. Okay, so if you're not facing the terror barrier or going sideways, get used to it. Read that again. If you're not facing the terror barrier, you are going sideways, right? If you are not uncomfortable, if you're not stressed, and I'm not saying you want to always be anxious and stressed. That's not what I'm saying. But when you're really trying to take a leap into a new direction, when you're really trying to change as a person, completely change your life like I'm doing, completely changing my life. I mean, in a year from now, or a year from when I started, you're not even going to realize I'm the same person. It's not easy, right? I'm going through the terror barrier all the time. I'm making decisions that are really hard to make. I'm having to make sacrifices. I'm having to do things I don't want to do, right? It's not easy at all, but it will be worth it. I know what's at the end, and every time, shout out to Nick, he wrote this one down. I don't remember exactly how I said it, but every time things get hard, you have to look back at where you are, right? Where your life is taking you, and then you have to look forward at where you're going, right? Where are your goals? What life you're going to be living, and then decide, are you going to go back to your old ways, right? Is this so hard you're going to go back to the life you don't like? Is this such a difficult task that you're going to go live a life you hate for the next 50, 60, 70 years, right? Because this one decision could be what changes your life. Like Napoleon Hill says, it takes one idea, one decision, one change. You don't know when that's going to be. You don't know what idea, what change, what it will be. But it only takes one thing, and everything will change afterwards. Everything will fall into place. So get comfortable being in the uncomfortable. That's so important. You have to, now I look for these uncomfortable situations. I'll be like, okay, you know what? In the last few days, I haven't felt uncomfortable. I haven't felt like I've been making any big decisions. And then you, realize, okay, well, then I must not be moving forward. I must not be doing something that, is taking me really, really, leaps toward my goal. And then you step back and you're like, okay, what can I do? What can I do to take me there? And then you get ideas. So you almost, at first, you're going to be like, oh, this is horrible. And then eventually you'll be like, this puts me on fire. Give me the fear, give me the stress, give me the pressure. I'm going to show you what I can do with it. And so now we got the old stick person. Guys, this is the most important thing you will ever learn in your entire life. I'm going to put this in every single video I make for a reason. So a strategy I learned today from Bob Proctor, rest in peace, but I was watching one of his videos, and he was saying you have to see yourself as this, right? This is you. You got your conscious mind up here, your subconscious down here, and then your body. So you want to be planting these ideas in your mind, these new ideas that are beneficial, planting the good seeds, the seeds of gold. You want to be planting those in your conscious mind, and then you want to see, not literally, but visualize and feel the idea going into your subconscious mind. Now, I'm not saying this is what you look like. I'm not saying your mind is physical, right? Your mind is an activity. Your mind isn't it's not your brain. It's very different. So you want to pretend like these ideas are going into your subconscious mind and be accepting yeah, these are going to my subconscious mind. These are planting, this is who I am. This is who I am. And you will feel the difference change. You will feel your vibrations change because whatever's in your subconscious mind determines your vibration, which determines your actions. So here we have an example. X ideas, that is your current situation, with your X ideas in your subconscious mind, with your X actions in your body, which leads to your current results, right? So this is just where you are right now. This is the life you're living because your thoughts have created your actions, which creates your results. So your whole life is a reflection of your thoughts. So now when you start planting these new ideas, right? You got your goal card or whatever, and you're starting to plant these new ideas in your mind. So your mind is going to start, your subconscious mind, once they make it in there or start to, you're going to have two different lives going. You're going to have your old conditioning, you're going to have your new conditioning, and they're going to be going head to head, right? And so this is when it gets really difficult. This is when you really have to fight your thoughts. And it's not easy. I don't know how long I went through it. I still, obviously, I'm going through it. I'm still trying to master my mind, but there's a point where you really are fighting, and it's like, okay, how bad do I want this? Because this sucks, right? You're constantly fighting these negative thoughts that are trying to talk you out of it, trying to pull you back to your old ways, and you're just like, this is horrible. You have to get through this. So these ideas you're gonna be living two lives, and you're gonna feel these ideas clashing because, at least I would hope, your goals should be a lot different than where you are currently. So you're gonna feel that that collision, which is putting you on a different vibration, right? Because you're kind of still have your old conditioning, but you're also thinking ideas up on this new frequency, and so you're kind of all over the place. And so that is why this is so important, because you have to know what's happening, and then you could take advantage of it, right? You have to know what's going on, right? Why are you feeling this way? And then you have to be like, all right, this is awesome. I know I'm moving in the right direction. I know that this is taking me where I need to go. So this is kind of just give you understanding, because understanding is how you're going to overcome the terror barrier. If you don't understand what's going on, you're probably going to quit. This is where 99% of people fail, because they don't know what's going on. They feel fear. They're fearful. They're anxious. They're stressed. And they're like, I'm just going to go back to the couch, eat my chips, and watch some football and not worry about anything, right? And then in 5 years, they're like, wow, I don't know why nothing's changed. I don't know why I'm in the same spot. You have to break through this, right? You can't go to your comfort zone. Comfort zone is a very dangerous spot. I know it's comfortable, right? It's comfortable. It is the most dangerous spot you could be in. So you have to make yourself uncomfortable, do the uncomfortable, get comfortable being in the uncomfortable, and that is when changes will take place. That's why I'm trying to move out of my hometown. I'm switching on everything I do. I'm getting a new career. I make money doing different things. I'm moving out of my hometown. Like, I'm doing everything I can to make me uncomfortable to live the life I truly want to live, because I'm done living a life that I don't truly want to live, right? Like, I live a good life. I make good money, but it's not the life I want to live. So I'm changing it. I'm doing it. And then I'm going to show you guys in real time, like, look, a few months ago, this was me. This is the life I was living. And now I'm here. It wasn't hard. It didn't take long. And it's changed my life. So, I mean, that's really as simple as it is. You just have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. So this is when things really change, when you have your breakthrough, right? This is freedom. Because once you do this once, you'll realize the power of it, right? So now you got the why ideas. This is, that new idea you've been planting in your mind. Bam! It made it into your mind. Your X ideas, your X conditioning is gone, long gone. Now you're on the Y vibration. You have the Y thoughts. This is freedom. Like, this is freedom. This is where you realize you are the captain of your life, right? Like, you can control your mind. You can plant the seeds. God gave us free will, right? Free will. Because the mind is your garden, and you get to plant what you want to plant. But so many people don't plant anything. And guess what? If you're not planting anything, this is what's going into it. Listen up. This is what's going into your mind. If you're not consciously planting new seeds, this is what is flooding your mind. Social media, the news, TikTok, all these different things that are awful for your mind. It's just negativity, crap, garbage, brain rot, right? You're just rotting your brain, filling your brain with all this stuff, and that is all you're planting. That is all that is going into your mind. So you need to realize that because you have free will, you're choosing to plant all of that in your mind. By not choosing to plant your own thoughts, your own ideas, your new changes, you're planting in, the social media and what's going on in the world, and oh my gosh, we're all going to die, the World War III, oh, this is so scary, right? You're choosing to plant that in your mind. I'm choosing to plant stuff that's going to change my life, take me in the right direction, right? Free will. So I'm just trying to help you guys out. So breaking through the terror barrier is not easy. This will be the hardest step. This is where everybody fails, because you have to have a goal that's worth dying for. Not literally dying. Like, I'm not saying I'm worth dying for. I wouldn't die for my goal, but I am saying it's worth losing everything, right? I'm willing to risk almost everything I have going after this life, because I know what I'm going to do. I know how many people I'm going to help. I know the changes I'm going to make. I know the impact I'm going to have. I'd be stupid to stay in the same spot. That's kind of where you have to get to. Like, you have to become so obsessed with your goal and your vision of your future life that you're like, okay, it would be stupid. It would be embarrassing for me to stay here. And then, you won't really want to stay there. Like, right now, I'm disgusted with my situation. Do I make decent money? Yeah. Like, do I live a comfortable life? Yeah. I hate it. Like, this isn't my life, right? This isn't what I want to do. This isn't where I want to live. This isn't what I want to do for an occupation. I don't want to make this much money. Like, I want to change everything, right? I'm dissatisfied. And that is another topic I'm going to go over in another video. But dissatisfaction is great. You should never be satisfied. You should be happy, right? You should be happy with what you have. Be happy you have water. Be happy you have food. But you shouldn't be satisfied, because we are spiritual beings, right? Your spiritual DNA within you is perfect. You were created in God's image. You were created with perfection within you. Now, I'm not saying physically we're perfect. I'm saying your spiritual being, your spiritual mind is perfect. And that is seeking expression with and through you. So if you are not dissatisfied, if you're just satisfied, you're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to chill here. Like I said, you're going backwards because you're not going forward, so you have to be going back. And your perfection within you is trying to seek expression. That's why you make $10,000 in a month. You want to make $100,000. It's because that is the perfection within you trying to seek expression with and through you. So you have to let this work. You have to take advantage of this. Like, we are spiritual beings. You are basically, life's a big game, right? So you can choose to live the life you want to live. You can make as much you want to make. You can do what you want to do. But you have to work with your intellectual powers that God has given us, right? That we were created in God's image. We have an imagination, we have will, we have reason, we have all these mental faculties that separate us from animals, right? That's the only thing that separates us from a dog, is our mental faculties, such as our creativity and our imagination and all those things. So if you're not taking advantage of these, you're using the same capacities as your dog and your cat in your house, right? So you need to take advantage of the blessings that God has given us, where we can create anything, right? Everything was first created in the mind. Everything you see, the house you live in, the car you drive, the phone case you have, everything was just created in someone's mind, right? So now you have to realize you can use that same power to create any life you want to live, any life you want to live, right? I don't care how ridiculous it sounds to your current situation. You could be homeless right now and say in the next, few years, I want to be living in Dubai, making millions of dollars. And it's possible. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to do a lot of reprogramming. You're going to really have to raise your awareness, but it's possible. Anything is possible. So that's kind of what I'm here to say. I don't remember. Okay, yeah. Napoleon Hill. And then he said this kind of goes along with the freedom. When riches begin to come, they will come so quickly in such a great abundance that one wonders where they have been hiding during all those lean years. Trust me, this feeling is ridiculous. You're going to have that day, that month, that week where you're like, wow, it's going to be effortless, but you're going to feel it. You're going to be like, wow, this is really easy. And I'm not saying it's going to stay that way. It's not going to be that way forever. You're going to have obstacles, but you're going to have that one point, that one day. Like I had that one day, I can think about it so vividly, and you're just like, wow, like this stuff is like this stuff works. Like this is real. Like, when you work in harmony with God's laws, you're going to live a good life. Like I was saying in my other video, the laws are always working, right? God created these laws so that we have perfect order on this earth. So, that's how everyone has equal opportunity because of the laws that are all perfect and they all act the same way to everybody. So they're always working. Now you get to choose if you work with them or against them or you just ignore them, but they're always working. So I'm just here to help you work with the laws that God has created to govern this earth so that you can live the life you want to live because, you're a spiritual being. You deserve to live the life you want to live. You deserve to have an abundant life, right? God created us for abundance. He created us for prosperity. But, the devil's in your mind trying to talk these negative thoughts, these poverty thoughts, these lack thoughts into your mind and take it over because it's a garden. So you have to be careful to plant the seeds. If you're not planting seeds, you're growing weeds. Write that one down. So yeah, that's kind of the summary. But the terror barrier is going to be the most difficult part of this journey. It's going to be the point, it's never going to go away. But it's going to be what determines the successful people from the unsuccessful because the unsuccessful didn't make it through. That's the only difference. The successful people are able to see the goal they want, hold their vision on it, make it through the obstacles, and then achieve it. Because success, it's not like a difficult task. It's all in the mind. It's all about overcoming these obstacles. It's all about persevering through the hard times. So do not let these terror barriers put you back in your old spot because it's almost like you're in this little box, right? And then once you understand there's a box there, all of a sudden the walls go down. But now when you start to move, you're going to be uncomfortable, you're going to be nervous, you're going to be anxious, you're going to be stressed. Are you going to let it put the walls back up? Or are you going to remove the walls forever? Because once they're gone, they're gone. Once you take control of your mind, you have control of your mind. There's no going back. You're raising your awareness day by day. Every single day I'm raising my awareness and I'm growing in the mind every single day. There's no going back. I'm not going back to my old ways because my awareness is getting higher and higher and higher and higher every single day. And I want that to be the same for you. I want to help you guys out. If you need any additional help, if you want one-on-one coaching, if you have any questions, leave in the comments below. Make sure to follow my TikTok at Nate K. Hogue. I post a few TikToks a day. I post a video every single day on YouTube. March Marathon, baby. If you have any video requests, leave in the comments below. I want to help you guys out with any specific questions you have. But tomorrow's video, I believe, is going to be on faith. Or I had one other idea. We're going to see, but just let God talk to me. That's literally what I do. I sit down and I open my journal. I say, what can I make a video about? Whatever comes to my mind, that's what I make. That's what happened with this. That's what happened with all my other videos. So we'll see what happens. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.